he can't because I wrote them down, so you can't read it. Look at him, or yeah, that's.
If you like to join him as well and be a part of it. You didn't just stand in there. It's alright, you can just stand in there, it's fine. Hey, thanks a lot anyway for
yeah, you're our first one, so we'll, you know.
Go easy.
Right, okay, so we are from the UCL IGM team 2011, so we're going to just ask you a few questions regarding IGM and synthetic biology in general. So, why are you personally taking part in the IGM?
Because I'm a medic, and well, that's not a very good reason, is it? But I've done a bit of medical research before, and but not a lot of basic science research. So yeah, I mean, we have to do a dissertation in sort of lab science next year, so a bit of experience. Always good to do these sort of things. You know, competitive world out there. So yeah.
I see. Cool. All right. Okay, so the next question. How did you guys, like, as for your team, come up with the project idea for this year's IGM?
We sat down, had a lot of brainstorming sessions, met pretty much every week last semester. To be honest, talked a load of rubbish, and then found that our idea wasn't that viable. And then sort of had a bit of a brainwave the week before summer vacation, and that was it really. Read a few articles and seemed like a reasonable plan, so pursued it.
So it was the students that you guys who came up with the idea.
Totally, yeah.
Like, okay, I see.
Our supervisor's into yeast, so not much help.
All right. Okay. But the next
Don't
question.
put it on the website, though. But carry on.
It's alright. No problem. Okay. The next question. Biotechnology, such as GM foods, have sparked some controversy in the past.
Yeah.
So how do you think synthetic biology is different from that?
Well, it's not. That kind of is synthetic biology, isn't it? But I suppose I guess it depends on the application you're using it for.
Right.
So I think if you're using it for sort of health purposes and stuff like that, I think you'd find a more receptive public opinion. Whereas if you're kind of using it to increase your crop yields and stuff, although there's a lot of case for that with like food running out and stuff like that. So I think it depends on like public education and people knowing what it's for and the kind of benefit of it severely outweighs any risk, kind of like anything really.
So you think it's kind of a similar topic as the genetically modified food, etc.
In terms of public opinion,
right.
Although I think there's quite a lot of stigma around. There's quite big kind of camps on sort of GM foods where it probably doesn't exist in other areas of synthetic biology, but essentially it's probably ask them why they think it's a different argument and they probably won't be able to tell you. So yeah.
I see. All right.
You can't read my handwriting.
What is that?
Your fourth one, or?
Yeah, fourth.
What do you think is the purpose of IGEM within the field of synthetic biology?
Well, I suppose it's to introduce people to. I mean, the people you normally get doing synthetic biology are going to be like molecular biologists and people, bio engineers and all this sort of thing. Whereas, take our team, we've got 3 medics, a computer scientist, a mathematician, and 1 biologist. So, you've got giving a greater kind of interdisciplinary exposure of, and that's the way things are going in science, isn't it? Nobody, you've got such a specific, specialised knowledge of 1 or 2 areas of science, but bringing together, making people more aware of it from an early stage, and also, to an extent, the characterisation of all these different biobricks is a useful-ish thing. But I think it's probably more the making people aware of it, giving people a bit of early exposure to it. That's probably important.
I see. All right. Okay, and the next question, how do you think synthetic biology can be made more relevant in the society?
Well, I guess it's relevant if it impacts on people's lives. So, people go down the supermarket, or if people see real solutions to real problems, then it's relevant to their lives. So, I guess it's all about telling people, as well as the kind of people who push the anti-GM stuff pretty hard. It's about making people aware of what it's about and the good that it can do.
Right, but do you think there is any particular way it could be made more relevant to the society, than it currently is? Any other ways that?
I suppose if you incorporate it more into school curriculums, maybe put a bit in GCSE, so everyone has to do their synthetic biology question. I don't know.
Replace chemistry by.
Documentaries on telly, sort of usual.
Last question.
Okay, so, this is the last question.
Cool.
Thanks for
That's
your
all right,
answer so
all
far. Some people are quite uncomfortable with the idea of using life as a technology.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about this point? Like, is it alright to use life as a technology, or what do you think?
Well, I suppose this is going down the kind of religious aisle, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
Without avoiding
we just want to know your personal.
Well, personally, I'm a sort of very, if it does the job and if it's for the greater good, then that's great. Like, but I realise there are sensitivities, and some people have a big thing about the life side of it, and like possibly understandably so. But my opinion is like, if it's for the greater good, like, and if it's done in a sort of reasonably ethical, well, definitely ethical way, and that's then it's going to be a good thing.
Okay, so thanks for
Thanks a
your
lot.
time.
I'll just film your name tag.
Yeah, there you go.